Namaskar, a very good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of India Water Foundation, we extend a warm and hearty welcome to you all to the Water Transversality Global Awards and Conclave 2026 and also the International Conference on ESG Transversality for Sustainable Water, Energy, Health and Environment Nexus. This morning, we take the pleasure of extending a very warm welcome to Shri Raj Bhushan Chaudhary, Hon'ble Minister of State, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. May I request the Hon'ble Minister, sir, to please join us on stage. May I request Dr. Arvind Kumar to kindly accompany the Hon'ble Minister onto the stage. Dr. Arvind Kumar, President, India Water Foundation, accompanying the Hon'ble Minister, sir. We extend a very warm welcome to Shri Yugal Kishore Joshi, Program Director, Drinking Water and Sanitation, IT and Telecom, Tourism and Culture, Water and Land Resources, Lead Communication and NER Niti Aayog. May I request Dr. Shweta Tyagi, Chief Functionary, India Water Foundation, to kindly accompany the Honorable Dignitary on to the dais. So once again, a very warm welcome to all the honorable dignitaries who have taken their seats here with us on the dais. We start this morning by extending a green welcome to the honorable dignitaries who are here with us. May I request Dr. Arvind Kumar to kindly do us the honors of presenting a plant to the honorable minister, and please welcome him. It's our ode to Mother Earth. We extend a very warm welcome to Shri Yugal Kishore Joshi, Program Director, Drinking Water and Sanitation, NER Niti Aayog. May I request Dr. Arvind Kumar to do us the honors of welcoming the honorable dignitary. So ladies and gentlemen, we start this morning with the address from Shri Raj Bhushan Chaudhary, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. As we all know, water is a very precious resource for us, and the entire humanity is just dependent on water for its survival, of course, amongst other things, but water is a finite source. So we are very honored to have the Honorable Minister here within us in this conference. So may I request you, sir, to kindly address the August gathering. So first I invite Dr. Arvind Kumar to kindly address the August gathering and give his opening remarks.
Very good morning and a warm welcome to Honorable Minister for Jal Shakti, Sri Raj Bhushan Chaudhary ji, Sri Yugal Kishore Joshi ji from Niti Aayog, and our distinguished panelists joining us online, Sadhguru Sri Jaggi Vasudev ji, Mr. Louis Fauchon, President World Water Council, and Ms. Ulrich, Deputy Executive Director, International Water Association. I also extend my sincere greeting to all distinguished delegates, esteemed speakers and partners and friends gathered here for International Conference on ESG Transversality for a Sustainable Water, Energy, Health, Environment Nexus, being held under the aegis of Water Transversality Global Award and Conclave 2026. It is indeed a privilege to be among such an extraordinary group of policymakers and spiritual leaders and scientists and international organizations, industry leaders and civil society representative on the platform. Your presence reflects a shared global commitment to sustainability and responsible development. Today's conference is built upon a simple but powerful idea that the challenges of our time are interconnected and Therefore, the solutions must also be interconnected. Water, energy, health, and the environment are not isolated sectors. They form a deeply interdependent system that shapes human well-being, economic development, and planetary stability. Over the next 2 days, this conference will explore this transversal approach, bringing together perspectives from governance, science, finance, technology, and community leadership to design integrated solutions. At the heart of the conference lies the concept of the ESG, environment, social, and governance. Over the past decade, ESG has evolved from a niche concept to a central pillar of the global economic governance. Investors, governments, corporations, and citizens are increasingly recognizing that financial platform alone cannot define success, sustainable development, and social responsibility, and transparent governance must also guide decision making. Global ESG framework are influencing investment flows, shaping corporate accountability, and redefining the relationship between economic growth and environmental stewardship. However, ESG is not merely a compliance mechanism or reporting framework. At its best, ESG represents a new philosophy of development that balances the economic progress with ecological sustainability and social inclusion. And this is where the idea of transversality becomes particularly relevant. ESG cannot operate in silos. It must integrate sectors such as water, energy, health, and environmental management, exactly the nexus that we are discussing here today. India, as one of the world's fastest growing economies, has been making significant strides in integrating ESG principles into its development trajectory. One of the most important regulatory initiatives in this direction is the Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting Framework introduced by India's market regulatory. Under this framework, the top listed companies in India are required to disclose detailed sustainability data covering environmental performance, social inclusion, governance practices, and supply chain responsibility. Recent reform have further strengthened this framework by introducing third-party assurance requirement and expanded ESG metrics, including greenhouse gas emissions, water use in stressed regions, biodiversity impact, and social indicators such as wage equality and workforce inclusion. In addition, regulatory initiatives now encouraged companies to disclose green credits and sustainability performance across their value chains, ensuring that environmental responsibility extends beyond the boundaries of individual firms. Sustainability linked India has also introduced framework for sustainability linked bonds and ESG debt instruments, enabling capital markets to support climate action and renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure. These developments reflect a clear recognition that sustainability is not an obstacle to economic growth, it is a pathway to resilient and inclusive growth. India's broader development agenda, from renewable energy expansion and green hydrogen initiative to river regeneration and circular economy policies, align closely with ESG principles and the sustainable development goals. Alongside national initiatives, several Indian states are also pioneering innovative ESG policies. One notable example is Kerala, which has recently introduced a comprehensive ESG oriented policy framework to attract sustainable investment and promote environmentally responsible industry development. The policy aims to encourage industries that adopt sustainability practices while offering incentives such as financial support, tax benefit, and startups, assistance for ESG aligned enterprises. The state has also articulated ambitious goals, including expanding renewable energy and pursuing long-term carbon neutrality targets. Such state-level leaderships demonstrate how ESG principles can translate into regional development strategies that combine economic competitiveness with environmental stewardship and social well-being. Over the course of 2 days, this conference will deliver on a wide spectrum of themes that lies in the heart of sustainable development. The discussion will begin with ESG-aligned finance and governance to combat greenwashing, highlighting the need of transparent financial frameworks, credible reporting mechanism, and strong regulatory oversight to ensure that sustainability commitments translate into measurable outcomes. Experts will further explore the policy and institutional frameworks required to strengthen ESG compliance and accountability across sectors. A CEO's leadership dialogue will bring together the leaders from the industry, civil society, and international organizations to reflect on how business can act as a catalyst of sustainability transformation. The deliberations will then move towards on the most pressing priorities of our time, navigating the interdependencies of water, energy, health, environment nexus, where speaker will examine how water security and environmental protection and public health must be addressed through integrated policies, scientific innovations, and collaborative governance. The day will conclude with a global leader dialogue offering insight on the international cooperation, leadership, or advancing sustainability. The conversations will continue tomorrow with a forward-looking focus on cross-sectoral water transversality for accelerating net zero ambitions, emphasizing the critical links between water management, climate mitigation, and energy transitions. This will be completed by decisions on greening industry through ESG partnerships, demonstrating how responsible business practices can simultaneously drive economic growth and environmental stewardship. The conference will also explore global cooperation for planetary health diplomacy, underscoring the importance of collaborative approaches to address transboundary environmental challenges. Alongside these plenaries and sessions, several side events will also examine themes such as ecosystem restoration, freshwater conservation in urban landscapes, and technological innovations and nexus-based resilience strategies. Together, these deliberations aim to beyond dialogue and create a platform where policy, science, finance, social leadership converge to shape practical and actionable solutions for a sustainable future. Friends, as we reflect on the challenge before us, climate change, water stress, biodiversity loss, pollution, and public health risks, it becomes increasingly clear that fragmented solution will not satisfy the future demand. Integrated thinking, water security must align an energy transition, environmental protection must support public health, economic growth must incorporate social equality. This is precisely the philosophy behind the water transversality approach promoted by the India Water Foundation, recognizes that water is not merely a resource but a connecting thread linking ecosystem, economy, and societies. So almost we have 25 sessions, more than 100 speakers from all across the sectors. I think 9 sideline program. So our task therefore is not just to discuss sustainability, but to operationalize it through policy, innovation, technology, advancement, responsible finance, and collaborative governance. Over the next 2 days, I encourage all of you to engage actively, share your insights, challenge assumptions, and explore partnerships. Let this conference become not only a platform for ideas, but also a catalyst for action, advancing ESG transversality and strengthening the nexus between water, energy, health, and the environment for the benefit of humanity and our planet. So together we can shape a future that is sustainable, inclusive, and resilient. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for this warm welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, next on our agenda this morning was an address by His Holiness Sri Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev Ji. He was really keen to attend this event in person. However, due to some health consideration, he is unable to do so. However, he has shared a video message with us. We consider these his blessings as well, and we are deeply grateful for his video message. A globally respected yogi, spiritual leader, and a visionary, and also an environmental advocate. Let's watch this video message by His Holiness Sri Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev Ji.
Namaskaram. As a generation of people, we have taken the largest bite out of this planet, unfortunately, and doing the necessary compensatory activity has become incumbent upon us that as a generation of people, we must strive to leave this planet at least the way it was given to us by our parents. In this effort to ensure that the necessary responsible activity will happen, it is very, very important that we create a conscious planet and we are conscious of everything that we do, how we eat, how we walk upon this planet, how we use the various resources. All of this needs to be conducted consciously, not by compulsive needs of the marketplace. We need to remember, this is not about saving the planet. We are the planet. We are a small part of this planet. Let us understand the very bodies that we carry is just the soil that we walk upon. In this context, this is about our survival, this is our well-being, this is the survival of the future generations and the well-being of our children and theirs. There are many concerns about the planet, about the ecological situation, but the most important thing is the soil degradation. So, the three most important concerns that we should take care of right now is soil, soil and soil. I'm saying this because I know water is a concern, purity of air is a concern, but if we take care of the soil or taking care of the soil essentially can be done only by enhancing the green cover on the planet. At least 40% of the land must be under tree shade. Only then we can rejuvenate the soil because it is the organic material from the tree litter and the animal waste which enhances the soil. A rich soil will naturally ensure there is enough water resource because the water on this planet has not gone anywhere. How much water we had 1,000,000 years ago, we still have. It is just not in the right place. It is not where it is accessible. This is mainly because of soil degradation. And the same goes for air. If you want pure air to breathe, it is important. There is substantial amount of green cover on this planet. Maybe putting forests back is not possible in every nation, but definitely tree-based agriculture is a possibility. It is important how we eat, that is when things change. Nearly 77% of the agricultural land is right now used for raising animals or their food. Out of the 51 million square kilometers of land which is under the till right now, 40 million square kilometers of land is being used for raising animals and their feed. If human populations reduce their meat consumption by 50%, you don't have to give it up. 50%, 20 million square kilometers of agricultural land will become available for tree cultivation on a commercial basis. And one more thing we need to do is at least 30% of our diet should come from trees. If we are willing to make this, then a green and healthy planet will just definitely become possible. We are congratulating you and greeting you on this occasion, but in every possible way, we are willing to work with you. This is important that it doesn't happen just in one nation, this has to be a global movement. It's creating a conscious planet. How we breathe, how we walk, how we eat, and how we consume what we consume. This needs to become conscious. We are working towards this and we are with you. in this fantastic effort that you're making. My greetings and congratulations to all of you who are attending this conference, and ensure that this consciousness that the conference is trying to create becomes a worldwide movement.
We are thankful to His Holiness for his very benign and auspicious message. Ladies and gentlemen, the ongoing geopolitical tensions in parts of the Middle East have caused significant disruptions in international air travel and also have led to temporary closure of several regional airspaces. We are also seeing an impact on our event as well. Nevertheless, hybrid options have given us the privilege and honor to have Mr. Loic Fauchon, President of the World Water Council, with us online. He is one of the most respected voices in global water governance, a distinguished public service leader from France. Let's hear it from him, from our online team. May I request you to please connect?
Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear friends of water, Namaste. It's always a deep honor for me to address India, a nation whose wisdom has long understood that water is sacred, strategic, and central to life. When I was in New Delhi in 2024 for India Water Week, I had the privilege of meeting India's Minister of Jal Shakti, Shri Sihir Patil, and witnessing the dynamism with which India is addressing its water challenges. I saw a country that is not waiting for the future, but shaping it. Today, I say with conviction, this is India's water moment. India's global importance is growing economically, diplomatically, technologically, but with this rise comes responsibility. A nation of over 1.4 billion people, soon to be even more, cannot think of water as a sector. Water is a bloodstream of development. And this is why I repeat, sometimes firmly, water is politics. Water determines public health. Water determines food security. Water determines energy production. Water determines social stability and peace. I often call this a five-finger alliance. Where there is no water, there is no dignity. And where water is mismanaged, there is instability. We live in a century navigating between flood and droughts, between excess and scarcity. Climate divagations have erased the old map that separated arid lands from humid lands. Droughts and floods are now the same battle, the battle to secure water resources in quality and quantity. India understands this better than most, from glacier-fed rivers in the Himalayas to coastal aquifers, from megacities like Delhi to rural villages dependent on monsoon cycles. But challenges are not destiny. Leadership is. Allow me to share three simple but powerful words that guide our thinking at the World Water Council. Preserve, reserve, serve. First, preserve. Preserve rivers, aquifers, wetlands, and ecosystems. Water for nature is not opposed to water for humans. Without healthy ecosystems, there is no long-term water security. Second, reserve. We must reserve water for the future. Demography is clear. Urbanization is accelerating. Water demand will continue to grow. We will need better groundwater management, recycling of wastewater, desalination where necessary, and the transformation of traditional dams into modern aquatic reserves. And third, serve. Water must serve humanity, through safe drinking water, sanitation, and hygiene. Water for health is fundamental. A child cannot study, a mother cannot thrive, and a community cannot prosper without secure access to water. The World Water Council believes that India can play a decisive global role, not only as a beneficiary of solutions, but as a provider of solutions. In the spirit of solidarity with the Global South, India can help bridge the water gap between regions, cultures, and levels of development. As we move toward the 2026 United Nations Water Conference and prepare for the 11th World Water Forum in 2027, our objective is clear: move from commitments to measurable action. The World Water Council is working on concrete initiatives, from strengthening the link between water and health, supporting megacities, promoting non-conventional water resources, and innovative financing mechanisms. Water is not only a technical issue, ladies and gentlemen. It's not only an environmental issue. It's a political, economic, social, and moral issue. This is India's water moment, and the world is watching. Dhanyavad.
We are thankful to Mr. Fauchon for his address, and of course, much appreciated address in Hindi as well. We have also received a video message from Ms. Ulrich Kell, Deputy Executive Director of the International Water Resources Association. With over 2 decades of experience in international development, UN processes, and global water initiatives, she has played a vital role in strengthening knowledge exchange, stakeholder engagement, and gender-inclusive leadership across the global water community. May I request the team to please play her address as well.
Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues and dear friends, it is a great honor to address you today on behalf of the International Water Resources Association. My name is Ulrike Kelm, and I am the association's Deputy Executive Director. Let me begin by thanking the organizers, especially the India Water Foundation, for bringing us together here in New Delhi. I very much regret I cannot be with you in person. I had truly hoped to join you, because this conference brings together an extraordinary community of people working at the forefront of water, sustainability, and human well-being. Still, I'm grateful for the opportunity to share a few thoughts with you today. At its heart, the Water Transversality Global Awards and this conference remind us of something very simple and powerful. Water connects everything. Water connects ecosystems and economies, it connects energy, health, and the environment, and ultimately, it connects our present decisions to our shared future. This is why water challenges cannot be solved in silos. And this is why the focus this year on water, energy, health, environment, nexus, and ESG governance is so timely and important. Around the world, we are facing deeply interconnected challenges. Climate change, growing water scarcity, rising demands for resources, and increasing risks to both human and planetary health. These challenges are complex, but the message is clear. If our challenges are connected, our solutions must be too. They require integrated thinking, they require collaboration across sectors, and they require partnerships that bridge science, policy, and practice. As we reflect on the significance of this gathering, I would like to leave you with one simple question. The question is not whether we are connected by water. The question is whether we act like it. This is a call to action for all of us, because a different future, a more hopeful future, is possible. We can choose to restore water in our landscapes while strengthening local water economies. We can cool the global climate while improving lives on the ground, and the science is on our side. Nature and innovation can work together if we act collectively and decisively. This vision lies at the core of IWRA's mission. For more than 5 decades, IWRA has worked to advance knowledge, dialogue and cooperation across disciplines, sectors and regions to improve water management worldwide. Through our global network of professionals, our scientific publications, our projects and our international convenings, including the World Water Congress, we strive to connect science, policy and practice to address the most pressing water challenges of our times. This is why events like this conference matter so much. They create the space where ideas cross boundaries between sectors, countries and communities of practice. And through the Water Transversality Awards, they shine a light on those who are turning integrated thinking into real-world action. Just a few months ago, IWRA and the government of Morocco hosted the 19th World Water Congress in Marrakesh under the theme Water in a Changing World, Innovation and Adaptation. More than 1,200 participants from over 80 countries came together to share knowledge and explore solutions. One of the key outcomes was the Marrakesh Declaration, which calls on the global community to elevate water across international agendas and to strengthen the link between science, policy and action. The same spirit is very much present here in New Delhi today. Looking ahead, IWRA remains committed to supporting global dialogue and cooperation through our upcoming Second Islands Water Congress in Jamaica in December and through the 2026 United Nations Water Conference later this year. Both critical moments to turn ambition into action. Before I close, I would also like to share a proud IWRA moment with you. Our Vice President Rabi Mokhtar will be honoured here in New Delhi with a Lifetime Achievement Award. This recognition celebrates decades of pioneering work on the water-energy-food nexus and truly embodies the spirit of transversality that this conference celebrates. Let me conclude once again congratulating the India Water Foundation and all partners for organising this important conference and the Water Transversality Global Awards. When the global water community comes together, as you have here, we can turn shared knowledge into collective action. And let me leave you with this thought. Water connects our planet, our societies and our futures. Our solutions must be just as connected. Thank you very much, and I wish you 2 days of inspiring discussions and meaningful partnerships.
We are very thankful to Ms. Kelm as well as the International Water Resources Association for their association with this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst today Shri Yugal Kishore Joshi, Program Director, NER Niti Aayog. May I request the honored dignitary to kindly address the August gathering. Please welcome with an applause.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Shri Raj Bhushan Chaudhary ji. Dignitaries joining us online. Dr. Arvind Kumar ji, President IWF, Dr. Sweta Tyagi, distinguished delegates and learned audience. Before saying anything, let me put a disclaimer here, because I am speaking in front of very learned audience who are expert in their domain, and I don't claim to be any expert. So whatever I will be talking, it will be more my learnings in this sphere, in this domain. Since ages, our cultures, our traditions have talked about Sarva Bhutanam, that's encompassing all beings, whether living or non-living. Almost all cultures talk about it. We have a culture which says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that's this whole entire earth is our family, one family. And very recently, few centuries back in this city, Mirza Ghalib once said, कतरे में दजला और जुज़ में कुल दिखाई न दे, खेल बच्चों का हुआ, दीदाए बीना न हुआ. That means, if you cannot see ocean in a drop of water, and if you cannot see whole in parts, it's not a master's game. So in our ancient philosophy, our mythology, everywhere, we have seen that we take this universe as one entity, interdependent. All species are interdependent to each other. So these concepts of transversality for sustainable different things, components, water, energy, health, environment, and now many scientists and mathematicians also add society to this. So these environment, sustainability, and governance, these three, which of late we had dealt in silos, are actually part of one. So I will treat one by one, how these things have been changing. Then today I will briefly try to touch what actually we mean with ESG and transversality. Also what in India, since last 12 years we have been trying to attempt, and then how together we can, as an international community, we can do things for these things. Number one is dealing things in silos has been a human tendency since long. And we have been very slow learners, let me admit here, and these all are my personal opinions. How? This earth, normally people say that it is 4.2 billion years old. And we Homo sapiens are here in last 3 lakh years only. So if we make a clock of 24 hours, we are here in last 5 minutes only. And in these last 5 minutes, we have created a kind of, havoc with this environment. This is number one. Number two, very fundamental truth to know is that the water which dinosaurs used to drink, we also drink same water. Since this conference is mostly on water, so this teaches us a very important lesson that in this nature, water was created only once, and now time and again, we drink the recycled water. And third thing, very important is that, and Jaggi Vasudevji also pointed out towards that, is that whatever pollutes land ultimately pollutes water. These three are very fundamental things, and when we treat these things as a whole, because if some of you or many of you must be knowing the experiment done in China in late 1950s called Wipe Out 4 Pats, and its disastrous consequences on environment, and it created the largest man-made famine in China. So this interdependency, because those humanoids and robots will be in future, but as of now we need all other species, water, air and land for our sustenance and for our survival. For example, if I talk about water, a simple project of irrigation, an irrigation project, when I try to plan an irrigation project, I have to see how it is impacting the source, how it is impacting the groundwater, how it is impacting the land, how it is impacting the flora and fauna, how things will be changing in next near future, and also how this will be impacting society at a large. So every project which deals with water, energy, health, environment, they have their repercussions, they have their impacts on each other. Then comes the issue of equity and inclusion. And mostly when we talk about equity and inclusion, we talk about gender, we talk about marginal communities, and then these nexus become very important. If you know, in land degradation, Jaggi Vasudev also talked about, first book on land degradation came in 1939. After that, it took 30 years when Rachel Carlson's book came on, what we are doing with this earth. Then very late in 1970 came when we started celebrating Earth Day on 22nd of April. Then happened Stockholm in 1972. So it took us 30 years And that was, even 1972 was 54 years back. And now still we are doing, COP, we are trying to solve these all environmental and climate issues. What India have done differently, and this is a very proud story. We have since NDA government came in 2014, we have our national missions which are very much interconnected. For example, if I talk about Swachh Bharat mission, which was started, and as I said, the third principle that whatever pollutes land ultimately pollutes water. Swachh Bharat mission was a precursor of Jal Jeevan Mission. Swachh Bharat mission was a precursor of Atal Bhujal Yojana and many other programs, Jal Sanrakshan Abhiyan and others, which dealt with water. Because in 2014, almost 60% of the people who were defecating in open were Indians. 60 crore Indians were defecating in that open, and it was a call from our Prime Minister from Red Fort that now India should become open defecation free. So that led to a series of national missions, huge in scale, huge in speed, that kind of connected these all dots, and perhaps that was the first ever experiment in India when we talked about transversality and all these issues of these important things. I would like to here talk about three important missions. One was the Swachh Bharat mission. And Swachh Bharat mission, whenever we talk about these missions, Swachh Bharat mission, all of you who know about this story, is that it was not only a mission to create toilets for individual or household uses. It was a huge nationwide behavior change campaign, and it was a campaign to make India open defecation free, and its benefits went cut across all the sectors, the health related benefits, the dignity issue of women, the children's issues. There were, in those days when I used to interact with the students in schools, they used to say, there was a shame and blame kind of things that कि पड़ोसी के घर में तो टॉयलेट बन गया, मेरे को टीचर कहते हैं कि मेरे यहाँ टॉयलेट नहीं बना. It was a whole revolution which involved entire society of ours. Jal Jeevan Mission was also, like that. It was not only a program which was including only hardware and pipes and other things. It was taking water to each and every household. And mind you, in 2019 when it started, only 3.23 crore households were having drinking water at their households. Now we say more than 81% have. This was also again related with the drudgery of woman, drudgery of girl child, and connected with all the issues. There are so many studies, foreign as well as nation, which directly say that how beneficial these programs were there. Now, since Jaggi Vasudev ji talked about the soil, I would not, I am very much keen to talk about mission life. Mission life was envisioned and propagated by Honorable Prime Minister in COP at Glasgow. What was mission life? Mission life was basically how we move from a mindless consumption of resources to mindful utilization of resources. Very beautiful concept, and it was supposed to be each and everybody's responsibility, being a responsible citizen of this earth, so that we all can become pro-planet people. I will give you a few examples of why this mission is important and why each of us used to take these things in our hands. Number one, food. My father was a laborer in Uttarakhand village, and he used to bring, the bories of sugar or salt from a distant place where train used to come. In those days, I heard the stories of famine and other things. In 1960s, we had those famines and other things. Now we don't have, but since we have everything in plenty and we don't hesitate at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the night to call Swiggy or Zomato to bring, food at our doorsteps, and that involves so much wastage of packaging materials and everything. In globe, as of now, as on today, per person food wastage is 74 kg. It's a 74 kg per capita per person. And we are talking about the Homo sapiens, the most intelligent species on earth. When I talk about plastics, we consume 20,000 bottles of plastics per second. and how much that goes to waste fields, how much it is treated, you all know that. Similarly, air pollution, and how since 2000, air pollution's particulated matter has been a cause of concern. And in Afghanistan, during the home war days, more people were died because of air pollution than the civil conflicts. When I talk about water, we know, the water, and knowing that water is very much essential for our earth. We in India and Government of India have tried to link with all these important national missions with our SDG goals. And we have kind of find and made a roadmap and implementation map how we want to achieve these things in a sustainable manner. Long back, in 18th century, there was a French philosopher, Montesquieu. He very famously said that there are three things which impact the human beings most. The first one is religion, then government, and then climate. So even in those days, people were aware, and we know the story how Roman Empire declined and these all things. So this is high time that we, instead of working in silos, we work in a holistic manner to take care of all these things, because neither we can live without other species, neither we can live without considering each and every these important resources. So what India's experience in these all big national missions can teach about the world, I have just a few points. Number one, every issue should be dealt as a human issue, not as a sectoral issue. For example, when I talked about Swachh Bharat mission, it was not taken as a sectoral issue. Honorable Prime Minister in those days used to say that Swachhata should be everyone's business. So in Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, at that time, now it is department, what we tried to do that, we tried to make it everybody's business. So every ministry was roped in. There was a Swachhata action plan, and you will be amazed to see that in the first year we could generate 20,000 crore rupees from each and every ministry's budget. There was Swachhata Pakhwadas, there were so many such iconic places. So everybody was made a part of that, and it was perhaps the biggest people's movement after, the Satyagraha. Second is that we have to measure the benefits, like we did in Swachh Bharat, Jal Jeevan Mission we have been doing. And third thing is that, and this is very much outcome from Swachh Bharat mission and Jal Jeevan Mission, that the most important whenever we do these plans in scale and speed, and when we take these things in totality, four things are very important. Number one is political will. Second is public finances. But the most important is the partnership, which I am very happy that India Water Foundation has involved everyone among us. Without partnerships, these programs cannot run. And finally, when public becomes a part of it, it becomes a Jan Andolan, then these programs get success. Finally, it is to us that wherever we meet, wherever we talk, wherever we write to each other, we share the best practices so that we know what good things other people are doing, so that we can be in the loop and we can work in totality. So that's what I have learned in my last 20 years. So I shared with you very humbly. I know there are people who know much more than these things, but this is the time that instead of working in silos, thinking in silos, let us take everything holistically. Like Singapore did, in early 1960, when it got independence. So they were not having any resources. They were importing water, still import some of the water from Malaysia. But there a philosophy of making water as a central part of their civil and urban development. They have created a miracle there with clean, green and blue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for this very thought-provoking address. Ladies and gentlemen, under the able leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, the Ministry of Jal Shakti has initiated very pioneering initiatives regarding water availability and sanitation, of course. One of them is Har Ghar Nal and Nal Se Jal, amongst, of course, other pioneering initiatives. We are very honored to receive the Honorable Minister's leadership here in our midst today. So may I request the Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Raj Bhushan Chaudhary, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, to kindly address the august gathering. Please welcome with an applause.
distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Arvind Kumar, President India Water Foundation, Sri Jugal Joshi Sahab, Project Director Niti Aayog, Madam Sweta Tyagi ji, and our renowned spiritual guru Sadguru Jagdish Vasudev, Louis Fonsen, President World Water Council, and Ms. Kim, Deputy Executive Director, who has joined us online, and esteemed delegates from government, academia, industry, and civil society. A very good morning to all of you. It is a privilege to join you at the second edition of the International Conference on Water Transversality, centered on the theme ESG Transversality for Sustainable Water, Energy, Health, Environment Nexus. I would like to congratulate Dr. Arvind Kumar and the India Water Foundation for bringing together such a distinguished global gathering of experts, practitioners. Platforms like these are vital because the challenges of our time, that is climate change, water stress, public health risk, and energy transition, are deeply interconnected and demand collective solutions. Today, the world is recognizing a simple but powerful truth, that is sustainable development, and that cannot be pursued in isolated silos. Water, energy, environment, and health form an integrated system, and policies must reflect this interconnected reality. In India, this approach aligns closely with the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, who has consistently emphasized that the journey towards Viksit Bharat 2047 must be sustainable, inclusive, and resilient. Under his leadership, India has adopted a whole of government and whole of society approach to development, where economic growth is integrated with environmental stewardship and social progress. Friends, in India's policy discourse today, ESG is no longer merely a framework for corporate compliance. It is becoming a strategic architecture for responsible growth. Over the past decade, India has built a strong ESG ecosystem through progressive reform. From the Companies Act 2013, which institutionalized corporate social responsibility, to the national guidelines for responsible business conduct, and now the transition to business responsibility and sustainability report, India has steadily strengthened the principle of responsible business. Today, the top 1,000 listed companies are required to disclose their sustainability performance under BRSR, and the introduction of BRSR core indicator with independent assurance has further enhanced transparency and credibility. Institutions such as SEBI and the Reserve Bank of India are also integrating climate risk disclosure and sustainability consideration into financial system. These steps reflect India's clear recognition that sustainability is not separate from growth. It is essential for long-term economic stability and growth competitiveness. Distinguished participants, the theme of this conference, transversality, captures a very important idea. It reminds us the policies must move beyond sectoral boundaries and recognize the deep connection between water security, public health, energy system, and environmental sustainability. India's development journey from several examples of such integrated thinking. One of the most transformative initiative in this regard is Jal Jeevan Mission, launched under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And this mission has not only expanded access to safe drinking water for millions of rural households, but has also delivered broader social benefit. Access to tap water, improve public health, enhance dignity, empower women, and strengthen rural resilience. Women's collective and village water committee are now active partner to water governance, demonstrating the power of community participation. Similarly, India's policies in renewable energy, green hydrogen, circular economy, and climate resilient infrastructure reflect a holistic development model where environmental responsibility support economic progress. This integrated approach is also central to India's global vision. Guided by the timeless philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. India believes that sustainable development must be collaborative and inclusive. As a leading voice of Global South, India is committed to sharing its experience and working with partners across the world to build climate resilient and water secure societies. Friends, as we deliberate in this conference, I would like to share three brief reflections. First, one is water, energy, health, environment nexus must move from concept to practice. Whether we design industrial corridor, expand hospital, build renewable energy infrastructure, or develop urban system, we must consider the interconnected impact on water use, environmental sustainability, and community well-being. Second, credibility and transparency in ESG framework must be strengthened. Reliable data, independent verification, and robust government mechanisms are essential to build trust and prevent greenwashing. Third one is community must remain at the center of sustainability effort. Women, youth, and local institutions are not merely a beneficiary, they are powerful partners in building a resilient system. The success of programs like the Jal Jeevan Mission demonstrate how community participation can transform infrastructure into sustainable public assets. Distinguished delegates, ultimately transversality is not just about institutional coordination, it is about a change in mindset. It requires economists to work with ecologists, engineers to collaborate with health experts, policymakers to listen to communities, and all of us to align innovation and with responsibility. In this spirit, the Government of India remains firmly committed to strengthening ESG framework, promoting responsible corporate governance, and partnering with states, regulators, industry, and civil society. Together, we can build a water secure, climate resilient, and healthy India, an India that not only fulfill its aspiration of Viksit Bharat by 2047, but also contributes meaningfully to a more sustainable and equitable world. I wish this conference a great success and look forward to the insight, partnership, and solutions that will emerge from your discussions. Thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, for sharing with us your guidance and your vision for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure now to invite Dr. Shweta Tyagi, Chief Functionary Officer, India Water Foundation, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. I welcome you all here to this event, and I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Guest for this event, Dr. Raj Bhushan Chaudhary ji, along with Dr. Yugal Kishore Joshi ji, and also Shri Loy Fonchon, Jaggi Vasudev ji, and Ulrich Kelm, who despite their busy schedules tried to find out time for us and made video addresses and were joining us online. Although a lot of tickets were booked, but they got cancellations because of the general geopolitical situation that we are facing in the world right now. So anyway, hybrid has given us an opportunity to take this ahead like we were planning on the agenda. So I would also like to thank all the collaborative partners, institutional partners, and knowledge partners for the effort they have brought together in this event. And I would request everybody, Shri Nagesh Kumar ji, Shri MP Singh ji, Shri Saumitra ji, and Shri Pankaj Sharma ji, please come on stage for a group photograph. And also Dr. Satya Tripathi, please.
Thank you, Dr. Tyagi. Dignitaries on the dais, distinguished invitees, that brings us to the end of the opening session. This was the ministerial opening plenary. As we are behind time, we are taking a quick break, only a 15-minute break for tea. Please join us for tea and coffee, which is being served outside, and we will start the next session, according to my watch, sharp at 11:15. So see you all back in time. Thank you and enjoy the day.
I would request all of you to please break for tea. It's a 15-minute tea break, and then we start our next plenary session.